All right, we are back, chat. um, my hair is a lot longer now. If you follow me on Instagram, you've been or you know me in real life, then you definitely know that my hair is growing out a lot. I don't think I have much time, so I hope that you can like hear me from right here, but I am going to try and be a little bit faster than I was last time because I was yapping for like 30 minutes and I don't think I got 30 minutes to yap. Okay, so where do I start? 8 months ago? That was a long time ago. That was a really long time ago. Um, let's see. Okay, so since at that point in my life, I believe I think I said July. At that point, I had just started to really like recover over my grandma passing away, because last year my grandma passed away in February, and she was very close to me. She was basically my mom. She like raised me. She was always there, and she always did her best to be there for me, and we were very close. And so I'd lost my grandma, and I was in February, last February. And last February, sorry, I'm not a tweaker, but I'm like low key. It's kind of embarrassing to like record around people. And if my mom pulls up and I'm like, "Hey guys, I'm talking about my life, and I'm a grown ass man," and I'm gonna be like, "Damn," you know. But okay. Okay. Last February, my grandma passed away, and when that happened, I was super duper depressed for like, I want to say like 4 months, maybe. Like, it was really bad. I was dissociating from everybody. I didn't want to be at my job, like, at all. I wasn't even like mentally present during my job most of the time. And I didn't want to be around my family. I didn't want to be around my girlfriend. I didn't want to be around anybody because, to be completely honest with you guys, I did not want to be alive. And so I didn't want anybody to miss me. That was my logic in my head. I don't want anybody to miss me. I don't want anybody to feel like they're missing out on anything. So I'm going to just try to, not be there, And so I got very, very close to not being alive anymore. And I actually have a lot of writings from that time, and it was very hard. It was very hard because I truly felt like it was the end of the road. Like, that's it for me. I know what I'm going to do. I know how I'm going to do it. And this is when it's going to happen. Luckily, I didn't do that. And I'm glad that I didn't do that. And I'm here now giving this update. But basically, the whole point of that was last year from February to July, which is when I made that video. In July, I had just started recovering. And so I made that video, and I talked about how I felt free. How I felt free because when my grandma didn't like just pass away. It was this long, drawn out process. And there was a lot more to it that's really hard to get into. But one of the main things was that one of the hardest things about her passing away was, one, she had cancer, so I had to take her to chemo every week. And it was just like, she's not the first person I've seen pass away from cancer. And my grandpa, which is like my dad as well, also passed away from cancer. And it's just like this slow process. It's slow, but it's fast. Like, it feels slow, but in reality, it only took like 2 months. They go from being this like filled out to just being skin and bones and not knowing where they are. And so that was really hard. And so I talked about how I felt free from that situation and free from all the deaths that I have experienced, because my dad has passed away, and my grandpa has passed away, and my grandpa has passed away within the past 6 years. So last year I really felt like, okay, you know, I don't think anybody's going to be passing away anytime soon. I feel free. I feel good. And I have been, honestly, for the most part, since July, 8 months ago. I can't believe it's been 8 months since I made that video. But since 8 months ago, I've been doing pretty well, I would say. I've definitely been through some bumps. But after that video, I basically was just like, everything I do, I'm going to do my best at it, and I'm going to make sure that I'm there for the people I care for, and I do the goal that I set out to do in my life, and that's make the biggest impact I can on the people that I run into in my life, and being a positive example. And that's what I set out to do. And I feel like I definitely ran into a bump because I was doing college, and then after that, I was like, bro, I don't want to live in a shed in my mom's backyard anymore. And so I set out to do something that I never thought I would ever do in my entire life. I was like, I'm going to go to the military. I'm going to go to the military despite my beliefs, despite how much I dislike my government. I got to go to the military, and I need money, and I need it now. And so that was my goal. And so I set out to do that. And so I set out to do that. That was a goal, not in July, but I would say in November. So it took me a couple months to get there because those first 2 months I was doing college. But in in November, that's when I had the idea. And so I started looking into it, and I said, okay, I'm going to start the process in January. So I went, and I was super excited. I had looked into it and all. I was really excited to do that because I needed change, like I didn't want to be in the position I'm in anymore. I didn't want to be me, I had a lack of discipline in my life for a really long time. And I just felt like the military would fix it all in 1 second, And so I was super excited. Told everybody, like, this is what I'm going to do. And I was serious about it. And I had weight to lose because I was 210 at the time. I'm 205 now, but it's not much of a difference. But basically, I had a weight to lose, so I was doing that. And towards the end of January, I call the recruitment people. I start the process. And they give me a call back, and they say, look, bro, unfortunately, you have a peanut allergy, and you have a severe peanut allergy, like I do. And I do have a severe peanut allergy, and I will die from it. And they said, you can try to get a waiver, but all 5 people that have tried to get a waiver so far have gotten rejected. They're like super strict on it. And I was like, damn, all right, well, I'm going to try to get a waiver anyways. And then I hung up the phone, and I Googled it. I started Googling it. I started looking up to it. I was like, how serious is this peanut allergy, bruh? Turns out, basically, if you can't be like resistant to it in some way and not need an EpiPen or Benadryl or some sort of medicine, then you're cooked. Like, you can't get in. Point, period, blank. You can't get in. So I was devastated, I turned off my phone. And I looked down, and I just said it's not fair, and I started crying, and I was really upset. And I was really upset for like 2 days. And then I realized, like, all of the character building that I had done up to the point to want to go to the military, I realized that I don't need the military to be disciplined. I don't need some fixed structure to turn me into the person that I want to be, because I was already actively doing that just to be in the military. So I realized that, like, it's okay, it's going to take longer. It sucks that I couldn't do that. And I feel disappointed in myself. And I felt like I lied to everybody. But I realized that I'm going to be okay. I'm just going to take these goals step by step. And I'm still going to get the goals that I want to do. It's going to take me a little bit longer. It's not going to go exactly the way I want it to go. but that's okay. You know, that's kind of been how my life is majority of the time. But I am currently trying to get 2 jobs or one full-time job. I think I've been trying to get 2 part-time jobs because I kind of really like my job at Dutch Bros right now. Um, and but if I get a full-time job that pays better, then like duh, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's sort of like the update. I'm trying to lose weight right now since that point. I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to get another job. I'm trying to get more money so I can get married, and I want to buy a house, and I'm pursuing college again, and that's my life. I've sort of just adopted a better mindset and actually put it to work. I've been doing a lot more action than talk, and I am proud of myself because it has just, I mean, I'm only 20, but it really, really, really has felt like such a long time because for me, in my mind, I've been raising myself since I was like 13 because my dad passed away. And when my dad passed away, you know, my mom just wasn't very available. She did her best, you know, I love my mom. But I was pretty much raising myself, you know, I feel like I've been raising myself since I was 13. It's just been a long road. And I'm proud of myself. I'm about to turn 21. And hopefully, a year from now, I'll make an update. And I hope that I can look back and say, I have the job that I wanted. Or I have a job, second job. You know, I have more money. I'm married. I have a savings account. Because I don't now. I'm fucking broke. But hopefully I can look back a year from now and look at this video and be like, yeah, man, you did it, bro. And I think that's the update. It's weird because usually, like when I used to make these videos, it would be a lot of like negative stuff or like hard things for me to talk about. But I feel like it's important to know that because I did all of the hard work last year and the years before, now I'm 20 and I don't have to carry that weight with me. I don't have to carry as much weight because I chose to deal with it as hard as it was. And so I guess I don't want to be all like, oh, here's my speech, but I will say that if you are young, don't think that just because you're young and you've been through things, you can deal with it when you're later, because it stacks up and it's going to be so much more difficult when you have more responsibilities and you're older, and it's going to be harder to learn. You're going to have less time and you're going to have more people counting on you, and it's going to be harder for you to cry. So if you're young or old, bro, just cry. Just talk about it. Just let it out. Even if it's embarrassing or cringe, at least you're free. You know, at least you're free. Anyways, I'm out. Peace out, chat.